Hey, what's going on guys, it's me Morvy, and this is part 2 of my complete Call of Duty Modern Warfare achievement guide. For this part of the achievement, we're going to be working through levels 9 to 14. If you're after levels 1 to 8, please check my part 1 of the video. The link is in the description and should be on the screen right now. But anyway, enough of me waffling on guys, let's get to them achievements. Okay, we're going to start off on level 9 and we're going for the achievement 2 birds. For this achievement, we're going to have to kill both of the soldiers at the end of the level with one shot. This one's a little bit time consuming as you have to do the whole level before you're able to attempt this achievement. The level's quite fun, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. After playing through the level as Little Farah, you and your brother will come up to this opening with 2 guards into a poppy field. You tell Hadir that you're going to go in and sort them out, and he goes on ahead. Once you jump into the poppy field, you will notice that one of the guards puts down a pistol on the table close by to him. First off, we're going to need to get that pistol. What you're going to want to do is distract the 2 guards by ringing Hadir's phone. When you ring him, they'll go to the sound of the phone being rung. Please remember, each time you ring Hadir, he will move to another location on the map, just so they can move around a little bit. The first time I did this, I was caught off guard and they started walking towards me, so make sure you don't have the same mistake that I did. Once you're able to pick up the gun, you're going to have to keep ringing Hadir, making them walk around the map in different locations. Once you have the gun, you're going to have to keep ringing Hadir so they walk around different locations so you can line them up perfectly. This may take a few attempts. I think it took me around 4 or 5 phone calls before I was able to actually get them in sight with each other. Eventually they're going to line up and you're going to want to get that collateral shot. Blow them apart and your achievement should pop. Now, on to level 10. For level 10, we have 2 super easy achievements. The first one we're going to be going for is Tunnel Rat. To gain this one, we're going to need to complete the Wolf's Den only using the 1911. Now, don't fret when loading up level 10. When I first loaded it up, I was also confused as I didn't have a 1911 equipped. Make your way through the start of the mission, clearing out these little buildings, until you reach this area where you start making your way to a little shed in the back of a garden. After a short cutscene of you climbing down the hole, you'll have a 1911 equipped. From here on, only use this gun. If you're playing on Recruit, you can run around like Rambo, but bear in mind there are tripwire traps in these tunnels. If you're playing on the high difficulties, I would take it a lot slower. Make sure you aren't throwing any grenades or meleeing anyone, because this will void the achievement. If you run out of ammo, you can always die and this will replenish your ammo, but it will only happen on lower difficulties. So again, on high difficulties, make sure you're aiming for the head. Once you've progressed enough through these tunnels, you will need to escape. This is where our next achievement comes in. Hang time. Kill 3 enemies on a ladder. This one is super duper simple, but please make sure you still have the 1911 equipped or the other one will not pop. When you get to this fire covered room with ladders, instead of rushing up them, hover on the ladder as you're climbing up. There will usually be someone spawning above you looking down, and there will also be someone somewhere else in the room. This happens on all of the ladders in the area, so once you take the guy above you, have a look round and you'll get the second one. As long as you're on the ladder when you get the kill, it will count. Do this 3 times and it will pop. If you've messed this up in any way, you can go back to the nearest checkpoint, but only do this as you're climbing the ladders, as you may go a little bit too far and well, you're stuffed. You have to start the mission again. But you can get this achievement on any ladder in the game. I just found this was the easiest one with a lot of enemies to kill. Okay, now we're up to level 11, Captive. There are 2 achievements on this one, so we're going to start off with the easier one. No nice way to say this, but we have to spit in Barkov's face. We have the option to do this in both level 11 and level 14, but we might as well get it over and done with in level 11. Once you've spoken to your brother and gone through a lot of speaking with Barkov, he'll take you outside of your cell and he'll plop you down in a chair. This is when he'll start interrogating you. You'll get 4 options as replies that will pop up on your screen. Ignore these, and you're going to want to click the right stick in. This will prompt Farah to spit in Barkov's face. To do this, you will need to have your controller settings set to default, or I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. But aside from that, it's a super easy 15G. And now we can move on to the trickier one. Dodge the bullet. Never get hit by the sniper while escaping. After you've gone through the sequence with Barkov, you'll escape through the fortification with your captured comrades. Once you get to this long corridor, just know at the end you're going to be greeted with lots of enemies and a sniper watching over the area. Our job is to make sure we don't get hit by that sniper. There's a few ways to do this, but I think the method that I use is the easiest. You simply want to weave in and out of these little walls like I'm doing now, making sure that red laser isn't pointing in your direction. If it is, just scooch down for a few seconds and it will move away. Clear the area around you and make your way to these stairs here. There should be an RPG just set up at the top of the stairs. Once you've equipped the RPG, aim where the red laser is coming from and shoot at it. If done correctly, someone will tell you that you have killed the sniper. Now you can make your way to the end without having to worry about being shot. Alternatively, you can do the whole thing without the RPG, but it just means there's a lot of dodging. If you're doing it on recruit, it's not so hard, but it just saves a lot of bother. Okay, for level 12 we're going for the achievement Hot Swap. For this achievement we're going to have to kill 8 people with 8 different guns. Now this does sound like a bit of a challenge, but don't worry, I think there's at least 12 guns you can get on this level. There might be a few more. We're going to start out talking to Price and his little mate getting some guns. We have the choice of 1 of 4 guns. Personally I would choose the Desert Eagle or the .50. All these guns do seem to pop up throughout the level as enemies are dropping them, so don't worry too much about which one you pick. Okay, as we step out the building here, we're going to have to want to blast these 4 enemies down. That's our first kill completed. As you can see, I pick up the X16 from the first enemy. Make your way through the door and you'll eventually get to this room with these enemies here. Empty them out as quickly as possible and move on. If you move up, you should find a gun on this table here. Blast the enemy coming through the door, and we've done 3 of the 8 already. As you see here, I pick up the 1911, so that'll be my 4th gun. And there we go, there's my 4th kill. I pick up the model from the snooker table and blast these guys to high heaven. One of these dudes did have an AK, so I was able to get my 6th kill here. Bear in mind, these I believe the drops for the guns are random to some extent. Here I picked up the M19, but I wasn't sure if I'd already used it, so I picked up the P90 instead. Okay, so here comes kill 7. I blast these guys out, no issue. The guy on top of the car did have a foul which I cropped out, but that's where I got the foul from. So as you can see, I'm pretty much 3/4 like through the mission and I've already got to my 8th gun. Chase down the wolf. I did try and save this family, but I don't know if it's possible because they're still dead, but I threw the grenade out the window. Make your way across this bridge and there'll be your last set of enemies that you'll need to kill if you picked up all the weapons that I have on this run. If you missed any of these guns out, don't worry about it. There are 3 guns right at the end of the game that you cannot miss. Inside this van there is an M91, an RPG-7 and a 725. A bunch of enemies pull up behind the van as you're driving away, so you can get another few kills in just before the level ends. But aside from that, yeah, really fun level, not too difficult, well, as long as you're not playing on veteran. Okay guys, for level 13 we have 2 of probably the most difficult achievements on this guide, and that is Lights Out and We Own the Night. For Lights Out we're going to have to turn off the power to 4 buildings, that is the church, the pool room and the clock tower. You do the 4th one right at the start of the game just before where I start filming here, so you only have to do 3. We have to kill all enemies in the church, clock tower and the pool without anyone calling for help. This one is the more difficult out of the 2 as there are a lot of guards in this level, there are a lot of patrols, and it's quite difficult to keep up with how many you've killed and if there's anyone coming to check on them bodies. So I thought it'd be easier if I just walked you guys through this one. Okay, once we've propelled down this wall and killed these 2 bods here, we're going to make our way to the pool to start with. That is over to the right. What you're going to do is make your way around the far right, around the building, ignoring everyone. Take this light out here, and this is the first power supply we are turning off. Please note, every time you turn off the power supply, one of the enemies in the area We will come and check the switch, so be prepared. The enemy inside the pool is going to come out and come through this doorway to check on the switch. What we're going to do is hide in the locker room. Okay, put a bullet between this guy's eyes and carry on walking. The next dude we're going to kill is inside the pool with the hostage. For now, ignore the hostage, as I'll explain why in a minute. Kill this dude there in the doorway. Okay, if you come to this door leading outside here, there will be another 2 guards to the left. Make sure you pop them. Okay, and then also make your way up this ladder here, and there will be another 2 guards on the front of the building. On my first few runs, I completely missed these dudes, and I was really confused why the achievement weren't popping. So make sure you kill everyone I kill in this video. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to wait till he goes back to his pal before I kill him. There's 1 and there's 2. Oh, that was a dodgy shot. There is a method that I did try, but it wasn't like popping the achievement. It may have been because I wasn't killing the dudes at the front of the pool. But if you don't speak to any of the hostages and go around and kill all of the guards, the van that drives around with the light will not spawn. Although eventually, once you speak to the last hostage, you're going to have to go back and it will spawn the van, which in turn may spawn more enemies into the area. So in this video here, you'll see that I do speak to the hostages. As we're making our way out of the pool, don't rush ahead too far yet. As I said earlier, it does spawn some additional enemies when you talk to the hostage. Also, if you empty an area out, they will have people check on the area because there's no radio signal. And this is what these 2 dudes are. Pretty much we're going to wait until they get into the building and we're going to just ice them out. It's best to do it inside the building so the van can't spot the dead bodies. So we've killed them. So we're going to come out of the front gate, across the greenhouse, and our second switch is right ahead of us. Take out a couple of the lights and execute the guard that patrols around by the switch. You might be lucky and Price will take him out for you, but if not, a quick bullet will do the job. Please remember, when you pull the switch, you will have an enemy come check it out, like this dude here. And there's also another one that come through the front door, which I got. The best way I found to clear the clock tower is to come through this left window here. And there should be 1 man in the corridor now, so you kill him there. And we're going to make our way up to the 2nd floor. There should be only 2 guys up here. 1 just coming out this kitchen. I'll double check this from here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, just below here is where our hostage is. For now, ignore that. And a guy will come out of this doorway here. Come down the stairs and you'll be greeted with another 2 enemies. Finish them off quick time. Take out the hostage man. And have a quick loop around the building. Because I have found that there was 1 or 2 enemies that did pop up later on once I moved around the building. But once you believe that you have fully secured the area, go and speak to the hostage. As you can see in the clip here, as I was leaving the clock tower building, I saw some flashlights in the window. I quickly rushed over to kill the guy because I didn't want him to phone ahead to say he's found some bodies. Thankfully, there was only 1 guy that came to check on the clock tower. So yeah, please don't rush away from the scene. Make sure you wait for the guards to come around and check out the other security. Okay, now we're doing the 3rd and final building, the church, and from what I've found, it's the most awkward of the bunch, as there's quite a few enemies outside of the church that do count as enemies in the church. Before I even entered the church, I killed, I think, around 3 or 4 enemies. Make sure you give these, just get them out of your way, it's a lot easier. Okay, once the street is secured, you'll want to go through the far left door. You should be greeted with a guy right below the light. If not, he will walk there eventually. These guys on the right, ignore them for the minute, as usually the guy behind sees his mate die. So ignore him and take this enemy out to the left now. And then by then you should have enough time to turn around and they should have split up enough for you to kill them. Okay, so that's 4 enemies down. Also, make sure you watch the doors that you came in, as I know 2 enemies check on the guards through this door as well. You don't want to be caught out on the last minute with these 2. Okay, as I was saying earlier, we're going to come around to the right now and finish off these few guards here. I believe there's 3 in the street, and then 1 comes out of the door if you pull that generator there. That is also your 3rd and final generator, although I'm going to pull the one on the other side of the building. Okay, so I kill that guy there, and I kill his little mate further down in the woods. Okay, as I said, I didn't pull that switch around the corner because I come down to this one here. I find that it's a lot more out of the way, as the door on the other switch opens and there are multiple enemies that can shoot you from there. Okay, after putting that switch, you should have the lights out achievement, and now all we need is we own the night. Kill the last 2 enemies on the outside like I just did there. There is 1 guy right far down the street. I did also kill him just because I think this was like my 5th or 6th run of this level and that the achievement didn't pop. So I was making sure that I had every single person dead. Since you turned off the lights to the church, that door is now open. Kill the first guy, kill the second guy, and then kill the 3rd guy. There should only be 2 more people left in the church. There's our interrogator hostage man, and there's his little friend. As you can see, yep, you can't pull that switch because we already did it around the back. Okay, bullet between this guy's eyes. And then we're going to save our last hostage who's going to give us our information. And that is how you get lights out and we own the night. Okay, last one guys, and don't worry, it's a fun one. To achieve Warheads on Foreheads, you will need to reach Barkov's lab by only using drone strikes. Easy enough, right? As all these other achievements, make sure you're on recruit difficulty and start blowing up your enemy. Your main focus will be the vehicles such as the helicopters and the vans, but also prioritise big groups of enemies running down at you. Please be aware, if you shoot the drone too many times in quick succession, there will be a bit of a downtime until it's ready to be used again, so make sure you aren't just spamming it. But on your way up the hill there will be 2 helicopters to take down. You should reprioritise these, as these hold many enemies inside. Blowing them up will stop them from charging you from the ground. In the footage you can see by the end of it, I forced my way up the hill on the left hand side. This kind of forces your NPC friends to kill the enemies for you, as they're progressing as well. This will help get the last few stragglers that aren't dying. Like, you don't really want to waste a drone strike on them unless it's absolutely necessary. You will need to blow up the last helicopter that is hell-bent on taking your life. Again, simply wait for him to stop moving for a second and blow him up. Who brings a helicopter to a drone fight? Once it's down, carry on the mission right to the end. Okay, with all that completed, all you need to do now is to sneak up on Barkov and give him a little poke with your knife. This is pretty much one of the most satisfying endings to a COD, I feel, because you actually get to finish off like the boss in a really, really satisfying way. Barkov was probably a lot more infuriating than some of the other villains we've had in the past, but yeah, it's good to see him fly off that helicopter. By doing this, you want to unlock the achievement Tea Time, and if you're doing it on Veteran or higher, you will also unlock the achievement Out of Fire.
I told you, Farah, a long time ago, your country breeds terrorists.
I am not a terrorist. I am Kareem. Listen. Barkov is dead.
Roger that. Alex, charges set? Affirmative, sir.
Alex.
I'm not getting out of here.
And that's the end of my 2-part achievement guide. I hope I helped you guys out in some way. If I did, please let me know down in the comment section. If you'd like to see more guides and playthroughs, hit the bell button and click that subscribe button. I hope you enjoy all your new campaign achievements. But until next time guys, I've been Morvy and I'll see you later. Peace.